speaking of money, I got some more money from my friend Mehmet. I've seen this name before. I'm bad at pronouncing names, I must apologize. And he is from Turkey. Wrote me a nice long letter. Thank you very much, Mehmet. And what did he send me? Well, he sent me some of these charming Turkish notes. 10 Turkish lira and 5 Turkish lira. You can see that they both have, as all Turkish money does, they both have a picture of President Ataturk on the front. He was their first president and sort of developed this huge personality cult around himself with giant pictures everywhere. That still survives to this day in Turkey, I am told. A lot of people still have portraits of President Ataturk in their homes or in public squares and whatnot. And of course, he is still on all of the money. Mehmet was also kind enough to send me a bunch of Turkish coins. I will put those up on the screen. The Turks have pretty cool coins. You can see that they're all multicolored. All have 2 different styles of metal in them. In Canada, we only have 1 coin of that style. The Turks are clearly a little bit more liberal with their use of metals. And of course, all of the coins have President Ataturk's face on them as well. Mehmet was also kind enough to send me these things. He says that these are Turkish instrumental spoons, which are played as a musical instrument, usually at weddings. And he says I can find videos of people playing them, so... I love stuff like this that's just, you know, if you look at it out of context, you have absolutely no clue what it is. But, you know, you show it to someone from that country, oh yes, it's those spoons that they play at the weddings. My friend Lawrence from Quebec gives me a 2,000 note, 2,000 francs from the Republic of Rwanda. I wonder if 2,000 francs is worth more than 2,000 Colombian pesos. So thank you very much for that, Lawrence. This is a jar of marshmallow fluff, which was sent to me by my friend Bennett of Massachusetts. He claims that this is a traditional sort of Massachusetts, New England snack treat that the locals enjoy. I've never seen this before. Oh, look at this. On the back it says, try a Fluffernutter, the delicious sandwich made with marshmallow fluff and peanut butter. See, I remember this now because I remember there was a joke about this on The Simpsons once, where Lisa was like,
hi, see you in Fluffernutters.
Oh. It's nice, thick goop. Looks sort of like some sort of, you know, product that you would shellac the walls with. Look at how bright the whiteness is. When I was living in Toronto, there was this place, at the place where I worked, where they sold, I think they were called chimney stacks, where they were like these rolls of bread, and they would cover them with like marshmallow slime and little crumbs of Oreo, which I suppose is in itself a weird regional delicacy. But I've missed having those since I've been back here, and now I've realized that I can get a very similar taste sensation by just rubbing this fluff on my bread. So thank you very much, Bennett, for bringing this joy back into my life. All right, so I got a big box from my friend Aaron from Texas. This is actually the second gift that Aaron has sent me. Earlier, he sent me a little Texas flag, which is very cute. I know that these are very ubiquitous in the Lone Star State. He also sent me a flag of British Columbia, where I'm from, which was quite nice. I didn't know that you could necessarily buy those in Texas, so much appreciated. So Aaron has sent me this charming t-shirt. Buc-ee's, it says. So Aaron says, I'm sure you've heard the saying, everything's bigger in Texas. That's very much true. You see, in Texas, we have the largest gas station in the world, Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's has 32 locations across Texas, the largest being in New Braunfels, Texas. And he says they're really big. He says the New Braunfels one is 68,000 square feet with 120 gas pumps and 83 toilets. So that's really cool. Local brands are always really lots of fun as well. You know, we sort of think that we live in this globalized world where, you know, everything is McDonald's and Walmart, but there are still some very beloved companies, chains that you can only find in one particular region of the world. And so I very much appreciate when we get sort of fun artifacts of beloved local franchises like this. Oh yes, and Aaron also sent me this big bag of saltwater taffies, also from Buc-ee's. I always associate saltwater taffy as being a real sort of American treat. When I was young with my family, when we would go down to Oregon and to the Oregon coast, we would always stop at these little sort of kitschy souvenir stores where they would always have tons of different flavors of saltwater taffy. And it was always fun when you were a kid because you'd always try to find like the craziest flavors, like, oh, it's root beer or it's watermelon or, you know, whatever. So I very much appreciate that. This is a real blast from the past for me. My friend Bradley sent me these two quite nice bills from Australia. He explains these are bills that predate Australia's much vaunted shift to plastic currency. so these are still paper. This $1 bill is really quite handsome. It has a very sort of retro vibe to it. We can see it has a very young-looking Queen Elizabeth on it as well, and the Australian coats of arms. The $2 bill has John, I think his name is John MacArthur. This was, I'm sort of vaguely aware, some sort of important Australian colonial figure. And on the other side, it has someone named Farrer. I'm not familiar with this person, but I imagine he had something to do with wheat. It's quite interesting because the Australians, for a long time, one of the big gimmicks of their money has been that they always put two people on their money rather than just one. In recent years, it's often a man on one side, a woman on the other, in the name of gender equality. I think this is a pretty clever solution to a problem that a lot of people have these days, where there's a sense that there's not enough women on the money, but also we don't want to like downgrade the male historical figures who are currently on the money. So why not just put a different person on either side? It seems like a good solution. But anyway, Bradley, thank you very much for the cool Australian money. I will add it to my collection. Now, these next two bills came to me from my friend Martin, who is a Dutch man, but he is apparently living in Slovakia right now. So he sends me this very handsome 10 guilder bill from the Netherlands, 1968. Wow, so it's really quite old. It's very unusual actually for the money to have an exact date on it. It says Amsterdam, April 25th, 1968. And then he also sends me a 20 Slovak crown note. So this is the money that I suppose they use in the Republic of Slovakia. Very handsome bill as well. I must make sure I do not get any marshmallow fluff on it. So thank you very much for that, Martin. My friend Oscar from Sweden sent me a bunch of Swedish candies. I will attempt to read the names of all of them so you can laugh at how bad I am at Swedish pronunciations. Bilar, Dumel, Kick Bites, which look like they're made of tar. Surskalo, horrifying creature on the bag. Pimpins, which look like they're little candy boats. And then we have 2 bags of zoo-themed candies. We have the Malaco Zoo Original, and then we have Malaco... look at this word. I don't know, I can't attempt to do it. It has some sort of monkey on the package. These look like they're made of... this actually reminds me of a candy that they have in Holland. Let me just try. In Holland, where I've been many times, they're really big into really, really salty licorice. Sometimes like licorice that's literally dunked in salt. And these Dujelvalgel candies seem very similar. They're little black things that are just completely covered with what appears to be salt. Oh my god. Oh god, that's the worst thing I've ever had. Oscar, why would you send me such things? Good god. I'll have to eat one of the saltwater taffy just to get the taste out of my mouth. That's awful. Relief. I don't even know what the heck that's made out of, but yeah, no thank you. And now we got this other big box. This is from my friend Ozzy from the United Kingdom. He says, hey JJ, here's a selection of sweets from the UK. Wow, look at all this. Ozzy sent me a huge crate. We have Twiglets. We have Monster Munch. You know, sometimes where I live, as I'm sure where you live as well, they have import stores for different countries. And there is a British import store near where I used to live, and they would always have Monster Munch on display. Baked cheddar cheese biscuits. We got these things, which are called Fox's Glacier Mints. Glacier, as the Brits might say. These are some crisps. Walker. Only 55 pence for a nice bag of Walker's crisps. They're flavored prawn cocktail. Homegrown British potatoes. Oh my. Henry Goods soft licorice. These little things, giant buttons. I think, do we have these here? Ooh, Jaffa cakes. People are always going on and on about how great they are. That's good. They're orange and chocolate. A fruit winder. This is clearly just the British answer to fruit by the foot, which I'm sure you have where you live. I say that as if everybody watching is from Canada or America like me, when obviously they come from all over the world. The long, stretched out fruit snack. And we have a fun comic. I'll read that later. Got some wine gums, traditional British treat. Flake bar, a crunchy bar, Mars bar. We do have these in North America. Werther's Original, the sweet enjoyed by British grandparents everywhere. A Yorkie bar. Oh, I remember this. I remember when I was in the United Kingdom, they had a big ad campaign about Yorkie bars. And the gimmick was like, only men can eat Yorkie bars. And there was like, you know, women would try to, in the commercials, the women would try to secretly have one, but it was like, no, only for men.
Yorkie, please, mate.
You're not a bird, are you?
No.
I assume that particular campaign has not aged well in our more sensitive times. Oh, peppermint cream. See, this